Belarus police fire stun grenades as 100,000 protest. The opposition has given Belarusian President Lukashenko an ultimatum: resign by midnight or face a national strike.
Here's a summary of the article.
Belarusian police have used stun grenades against protesters as more than 100,000 people marched in the capital Minsk demanding President Alexander Lukashenko resign. The police action came hours before the expiration of an ultimatum set by the opposition: Lukashenko must resign by midnight or face a national strike. Karol Lano, CEO at the Center for European Policy Studies in Brussels, told Al Jazeera on Sunday the resilience of the opposition movement was putting huge pressure on Lukashenko. A former Soviet collective farm manager, Lukashenko has ruled Belarus for more than a quarter of a century and has shown little inclination to quit, buoyed by loans and the offer of military support from traditional ally Russia. The president's main opponents have been jailed or fled into exile following the August 9 election, which Lukashenko's opponents accuse him of rigging to win a sixth straight term. Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, his main electoral challenger, has led calls from exile for a national strike to begin on Monday if Lukashenko refuses to release all political prisoners and resign to make way for a new election. Lukashenko has signaled that he would ignore the ultimatum.
This post received a score of 46,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than Lukashenko has ruled Belarus for more than a quarter of a century and has shown little inclination to quit. I believe he had this to say earlier about this matter. The mystery ending isn't going to be all that mysterious.
Yup, that's the problem with being president for life. There's still a very obvious and unescapable term limit. I can only assume that everyone else replying to this seems to believe that the quasi-dictators they're suggesting have avoided this are, in fact, immortal.
I think they're, correctly, pointing out that Kim Jong-il and Kim Il-sung remain eternal general of the Workers' Party and eternal president respectively despite the minor inconvenience of death.
Are they going to keep coming up with a new eternal X title every time their dictator kicks the bucket? I notice that eternal chairman seems to be available, but what else that doesn't veer into references of monarchies or theocracies? Eternal premier? Eternal champion? Eternal, headmaster?
It'll be an entire pantheon of dead dictators revered as gods.
Sounds kinda Roman tbh.
I've always maintained that general massive strike is the best way to get it done. A dictator has no power when nothing in the country works, and then they have pressure from all the economic powers and even the police and military that support them.
Yeah, I think that it's very naive to think that a general strike won't work. I want to see the security forces continue oppressing their countrymen when nobody is paying.
And you can gas and jail PPL that just stay at home, unless you want to jail everyone.
And then when you jail everyone, nothing will get done anymore. It's an economic disaster. No money, no power.
The result of all this is extremely important, not only for Belarus, but the entire world. There are several nations currently protesting their governments and/or leaders, many of which refuse to resign or give in to the protests' demands. If this is successful, and Lukashenko resigns, it will show the rest of the world that the people's will cannot be silenced. It could be a turning point for all of humanity.
I love your optimism.
Bashar al-Assad was the first time I was old and socially conscious enough to learn how these monsters in history come to be. I lost a lot of optimism then. I'm praying for all Belarusian people.
Problem is, he has a very large security force, a combination of police, KGB, military, some sort of riot police, I think, and all of these are above the law. Have we seen this before in history?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.